music can't die. Music's gonna live. Music is a gift to the earth from God. So if you have the passion in you to pursue music, it's because God put it there. That's not something that just comes out of nowhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Today's guest is going to be very interesting. We're going to talk to a hip-hop artist, but not just any hip-hop artist. This one uses music, stories, and faith to make an impact. So, do we really know what it takes to be a hip-hop artist with purpose? Well, I think I have an idea, but you know what? Let's just talk to this guy and find out. Let me introduce our next guest, the one, the only, the amazing Etano!
What's going on? What's going on, you guys? Glad to be on the Tiberius Show. How you doing?
Well, thank you for being on the show first off. Okay, so you are listed as a Christian hip-hop artist. Can you explain to my
Yes.
listeners exactly what does that mean?
So I make hip hop music or rap music that it puts emphasis on the Christian faith. Talks to people about real life of what's going on. Like I said, in real life, but from a Christian perspective, which this is actually a new lane for me too.
Okay, so what inspired you to start making music?
Man, so what started me, I wanted to express myself. I was always really artistic. I was always writing, and I wanted a way to tell people my story from my perspective. And so I started writing in class. What I first did was I would remix other people's songs and then, just put my own words into it. And then over time, I started freestyling and picking up my own style.
Okay, so I see from your bio that you started writing music at a young age. Did you always love music growing up?
Dude, I used to be afraid of it. I used to be afraid to even speak publicly. So I don't know. My mother, she would sing in the choir, but as far as me getting into music, that was something my sister wanted to do. My sister wanted to be on American Idol, but she couldn't sing. So I guess the gift went to me after that.
Okay, so I have a question. Why hip hop? And what was it about rap that pulled you in?
So hip hop has been a part of my life forever. That was probably the first genre of music that I was really introduced to outside of R&B. And so it was already influential. But when I was about 12 years old, I started listening to Tupac. And when I listened to Tupac, that opened a whole can of worms for me. And so then I started wanting to be like Tupac. And so that's where the rapper part came in.
Alright. So, did you ever think music would turn into something like serious?
Not as a rapper, no. I thought I would be a writer. Where I'm from is real, rural. So I didn't really know too many people that made music and even pursued music seriously. So I thought I would just, be a writer and figure out what producer meant and do that too. Pushed to being an artist and not really by anybody, but me wanting to protect my record label and our brand is what made me hop on a stage and defend it.
Well, do you remember the first song that you've ever written?
Yes.
What is it?
It was half a page long. I thought it was terrible. it was um it was a remix to a Big Pun song called Beware. And that was the very first one and it was between that and a Tupac song. So I tried to do both of them at the same time and the Big Pun one was finished first.
Well, what were you trying to say in the song?
Uh anything okay, so I was a I wasn't a poor mouth teenager. So I was saying what the rapper was saying. And he was saying, beware, he's talking about he's, the biggest, the baddest, and the best. And so I was trying to emulate that. But I was putting my frustration in raps at first. And that was before, I got the idea of, hey, let me put some love into this. So I was just talking about what I heard. I hadn't lived none of that. I came from a very good home, is how I would say that. Two parents and all of that stuff. So that was how it started for me.
So, at what point did your faith start showing up in your music?
Oh man. Much later. Like I said, Christian rap is actually a new lane for me. October 10th was when I dropped my first Christian rap song. Well, I would say 2023 was when I dropped my first, but with real intent of it being a Christian rap song, I would have to say October was when I did that. So it didn't show up until really my mid to late 20s.
Hmm? Well, was there a moment where your focus changed from making music for yourself to making music for God?
Yes. And I'm gonna just put my struggles out there for everybody here because I'm not ashamed of them. It's a testimony. For me, it was when I dealt with some legal issues, and that was not how I wanted myself to be portrayed. It wasn't like I was trying to be big or bad or anything. It was just stuff happens. And I was thinking to myself, man, life can really derail for you quickly. And if it can do that to me, and my music is probably not influencing people to, be good for God, then I'm wrong. And so first I had a period where I couldn't even get my words out. I was in the studio and I could not make secular music. It was hard for me to come up with the words and the lyrics. And so after that, I said, man, this is a sign. I need to give this to God because I can't do this over here anymore. I know too much.
So, you talk a lot about pain, perseverance, and redemption. Why is it important for you to be honest in your music?
Because somebody out there is thinking just like me. And they didn't know that they could just be for God. They didn't know everything about, the Bible or didn't really understand Christianity. There's somebody out there who can relate to my story and they're looking for people who they can share that bond with. And though I didn't necessarily want to be looked at as the Jesus freak or the Jesus guy, I also could not lie. I could not stand on something I didn't represent.
So, do you think teens today want music that feels real?
I think teens today want music that feels real more than people give them credit for. I have a little brother that's Gen Z, and I have nieces and nephews, and what they're attracted to is not the same stuff that the millennials were attracted to. It's not. They're doing TikTok dances. They want to feel good, and they will completely block you if you bring some negativity. It's different now.
Yeah. So, what does the title God Got Me mean to you personally?
God's had me through so many situations. Man, I've been in school, I've been in college, I've been in the military, I've ran a business, and I've lost everything before. And one thing about it, I did not truly understand joy, especially given from the Lord, until I lost everything. And when I did that, I was like, man, normally people be like, they think they'll be depressed. That was actually when I was at my happiest. And so that was when I realized, like, man, God's really got his hand on me. He's pulling me through everything. Life could have went left in it, and he would just sit it right there in the center, say, no, you're not gonna do that.
Well, was there a moment in your life where you really had to believe that?
Mm, last year, all of 2025. 2025 started off for me at a low, but I had a lot of faith that it would end higher. Now here we are at the beginning of 2026, and so many different opportunities have come up. At the beginning of 2025, I was still a secular artist. By the time 2025 ended, I'm talking about going on tour as a Christian artist now. And I've never been on, a Christian tour. I didn't know what that looked like, but it felt so good to make music that people gravitated to. and they loved it.
Alright, so what's your favorite part about being a hip hop artist?
Mm, the freedom, the freedom to just you can go against some things with hip hop. You can talk about some things with hip hop. At first, it felt like it was the freedom to express my frustrations. Now it's the freedom to express my faith, and it always connects. Hip hop, the way hip hop operates, the beats, the sounds, they connect with people. People that might have never lived the life that they were hearing about still like the beat or still connect with the lyrics and they enjoy it. So that's what I enjoy about it.
But what about the hardest part about being a hip hop artist?
People's idea of a rapper's image, what they think rappers should go through before they can be heard, what they think rappers should look like before they can be heard. I don't fit the normal today modern rap image. You know, I'm not tatted up. I don't have the long hair. I'm bald as I'll be. I don't go around. I don't portray myself to be some street guy because I'm not, and I'm about my business. So for some people, they might feel like they can't relate to me, but meanwhile, my story is vast, so I can relate to many people. So it's the balance of being myself, trying to connect, and breaking through the mold of what they're used to seeing their representation looking like.
Well, if a kid wanted to grow up and make music like you, what advice would you give him?
Ooh, do it your way. I don't care what the trend says. Do it your way. Hey kid, when look at me, do it your way. I don't care. Whatever the current trend is, if you're a kid and you're coming into music, you're the trend. You control the trend. What you say is the future. So I don't care what whoop de doo 21 Savage. I don't care what 21 Savage or Drake says. They're the past. They're old. You're the new one. Do you?
Well, here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut, that's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we're back here talking with Etano, hip hop artist and storyteller. Wait, what? Storyteller? What is that supposed to mean? I really like that word, but why do you see yourself in that way?
Because everything I'm talking about, I lived it and I see it. So I'm not I don't just make songs and make the words rhyme. I like to connect things. I like to connect scenarios. I want every bar that I rap to be a triple entendre. So you can hear the story that I'm telling you, but you might even be able to hear your story too, my line story. So I like everybody to have their I like everybody's creativity to be expressed in my music as well.
Well, where do your stories usually come from? Real life or imagination?
I mix real life with fantasy too. Especially when I first started. I didn't I did not want to make music that was just so bland, like, oh yeah, my life is hard and yeah, I struggle went through no, no. Imagery, you know? Oh boy.
Well, do you write your lyrics first or start with the beat?
Oh, mm, it varies. It can vary. Sometimes I hear the beat first, and that will encourage me to come up with a hook on the spot. Or sometimes I'll have the lyrics already written out and hear the beat. Sometimes even years later. Like the last song that I recorded, I wrote that 2 years ago, but I didn't get the beat until last week.
Hmm. Alright. Well, do you ever write a song and then decide not to release it?
Yes, a whole album actually. I did that.
Wow.
Um, the No Slums in Paradise album that I'm getting ready to release was originally going to be a secular album, but now I changed into Christian. I changed the whole thing, but it's amazing how it actually is coming together easier now than it was before.
So, what's the most misunderstood thing about Christian hip hop?
I think that people before they actually give it a chance, because I know I was like this, they think that it's boring. That's what I think. I think a lot of people when they think of Christian rap, their thoughts is, I don't want to hear that because I don't want to hear all that Jesus stuff. But that for me, I listened to it and I hadn't found somebody that I connected with. But we're talking about faith music too. When you're talking about spiritual music or faith music, not everybody can connect with it if they don't necessarily share the same faith or belief too. But I feel like when I opened my heart up to Jesus Christ, that was when gospel music started to actually feel good to listen to. So yeah.
Well, I made a Christian rap album a few years ago, but I held back because I didn't want to be labeled as the Jesus kid. Have you ever felt pressure or pushback for creating faith based content? And how did you deal with that in your career?
I felt a little. I honestly felt like the enemy was trying to keep me from doing it because people never walked up to me and said, "Oh man," they actually said that to me. But I do feel like sometimes I felt the pressure of maybe I'm not the right one to do this. Maybe I'm not that guy. And Tiberius, I heard your album, man. I heard your album, man. You're working with something. You are working with something, and being labeled the Jesus kid is one of the greatest rewards you could ever have. Because that's saying that from the jump, I'm with the biggest of the bigs, you know. And not everybody can understand that, but somebody like myself growing up, I would have heard you and respected it, and would have been like, shoot, he's brave, because I'm scared. And so I feel like yes, I did face a little bit of a bit of an inner battle because I wanted to be the right representative, but it was so much more love in the Christian rap community than I felt in the secular. Yeah, did I answer your question fully? Actually, I feel like I didn't.
You did.
Okay.
Well, Itano, what would you say has helped or inspired you the most?
Oh man, watching other Christians push forward, watching other Christians push through adversity, um, reading the Bible, that helped me a lot, and that freed me to be myself more too.
Well, what was the best advice you've ever received, and who gave you that advice?
My grandmother gave me the advice of do it anyway. Just do it anyway. As long as if it's good, if it's right, and if it's in your heart, do it anyway. Don't care about what other people say. She probably would say, "Go on, boy, do it." Like, she was a very short little old lady. She passed away some years ago, and she would just tell you to go for it. I remember one of our last conversations. I was telling her all the things I was gonna do, I was going to throw festivals. I was going to do shows. I was going to make music. And her dream was actually to be a singer. And she was offered a chance to be a singer, but she had my dad. And so she became mom and wife. So she just smiled and she just listened to everything I was saying. And lo and behold, the first festival I ever threw was actually right behind her house. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Because you're the future. You can do it better than me. I'm just laying the groundwork for you. I want you to just do better. I want people to take this stigma of the music industry because there's a lot of things going on we know about the world, and the world's crazy sometimes. But there's this stigma that people are being misused in the music industry. And so I'm wanting to shed light and let people know, like, yes, God's people are here, we're everywhere, we're operating still in his name, and you can too. Bring that light. Make the future better than the past.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius!
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we're back here with Etano, hip-hop artist, storyteller, and man of faith. So how do you balance faith and hip-hop culture?
Oh boy. That's a good question. You have to be original, but you also have to accept the fact that and okay, I'm gonna speak from my perspective. In my case, I know I came from the secular rap realm. So a lot of my style and a lot of how I might carry myself might look like how I was before. But you just have to be clean, do your best to follow Christ. And just it's okay to be expressive. I don't I would tell people, don't mimic those who wouldn't serve Christ if you gave them the option. But just know when you put it on, you put that thing on. So that's now you. That's your style. If you want to wear the chain and rap about Jesus, Jesus ain't got a problem with no jewelry. He got a problem with you putting the jewelry over him. You know? So you can be cool, but be Christ or be with Christ on it.
What is one skill every teen should start learning right now?
Do your own research. Please do your own research. I don't care what you're looking at, music, politics, Lunchables, I don't care. Read for yourself. You don't know what you never looked into yourself, and there's so much jumbled up stuff out there. Please don't let social media be your teacher.
Well, would you recommend music as a career to a teenager? Why or why not?
To a teenager, yes, I would. Music can't die. Music's gonna live. Music is a gift to the earth from God. So if you have the passion in you to pursue music, it's because God put it there. That's not something that just comes out of nowhere, you know. So yes, pursue a career in music. Please have a job on the outside of music, please, because
Please
it's
have a job
expensive.
in general.
Please have a job in general because music is expensive. Expression doesn't pay until it does.
Well,
So
do you
yeah.
think social media helps or hurts artists today?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, it helped in making it where people can reach out to other people, collaborate and network. It hurt. It hurt in the area it was actually supposed to help. It was actually supposed to help people be able to expand their styles, expand their creativity. What it actually ended up doing was it made people more the same. So a trend in North Carolina might become a trend in the whole entire nation now. And it
Yeah.
wasn't always like that.
Well, if you could go back in time and give your 14-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Finish school first, and music will always be there. And and I would tell him, you're not going to the Olympics. Good try though, and it's great that you wanted to, but you didn't go there.
All right. Well, what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made in life or work, and how did it change you as a person?
I was too trusting to the wrong people, and so many of us make that mistake. I put my trust into someone too quickly before they proved themselves to even be trustworthy, and it cost me thousands. And I would not want anybody to do that to themselves. So yeah, fellas, the ladies are nice. Please wait. That's all I can say. Please wait.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say for the 14-year-old one. She's not worth it. Okay, she's
She's
not
yeah,
worth
yeah, yeah. She's
it.
not. I would tell my early 20s self, she's not worth it, bro. Not her. Not her.
Okay, okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show, but that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
So there was this one time, let me see. That one story I wasn't supposed to tell you. So I'm the one that actually put the wooden snake down that scared my grandma and made her run while she was still on one leg. Yep.
Okay, okay.
I did that. My older brother took the rap though.
Okay, okay. Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you and what you do?
I help artists reach their goals. I do put festivals together. I also work with artist development, and I do own my own business. And I also am a juicer. So I'm big on health and wellness. I work out often. I am a person who will run about 20 miles a week. So I try to lead by example, and I'm also doing my best to bring unity anytime I open my mouth and put it on a mic. So
Well, do you have
a lot going on.
like a Facebook or a website or like social media for my listeners want to follow you?
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at brassot9. Yes, it's brass as in my old rap name, OT and the number 9. From there, you can see everything I have going on. My other business is Burst Juicing. You can follow that on Instagram as well. Just that name right there. And you can also find me on Facebook at Nick Jeffers. Don't use my government, but you can find me there. And oftentimes I might be posting scriptures or I'm talking about something funny. Might even post something about sports.
Well, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
Hmm. Why did I go bald,
Why?
dude? Remember that? Remember when I said she's not the one?
Ah, okay. That makes sense now.
Oh man, I thought she liked me more. I had locks, man. I had locks all the way to my shoulders.
Well, thank you so much, Etano, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Absolutely.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call your computer solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad, my computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Now it's time for Math Corners. Thank you so much, Etano, for having me with Math Corners. And this week, we're small multi-step word problems. My dad is always good to find new problems for me to solve, and today, we're going to talk about making a song. Well, Jake is looking to make a song that collabs with other artists. For every artist that they have to have 4 bars each, excluding the chorus, which is 10 bars long, and it only plays once. How many bars would there have to be if there are 15 artists collabing on the same song?
Okay, so 15 artists. Carry the one. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I'm going with 80. I'm going with 80. I'm going with 80.
Close, but no cigar, okay? Well, first, you have to find out how many bars are exactly needed for the collaborating artist. We can use the equation using the amount of artists as x as 4x plus 10. And that would equal the number of bars total. Now we have to plug in our x, or 15 artists, to get the new equation 4 times 15 plus 10 equals the amount of bars. Well, let's do some quick math here in our head. 4 times 15 is 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 40 because of 4 times 10, which is 60 bars. Then we have to add the chorus, which is only 10 bars, so 60 plus 10 is 70 bars total. Off by 10, but it's okay. Well, my teachers always say that I'll use math every single day. How do you use math in your work as a rapper?
I do keep up with the beat count, the tempo. I do keep up with how many bars that I will rap per beat. Sometimes I do mix it up, so I have to keep a cadence in mind. I might have a certain amount of bars for the first hook, might change it for the second hook, go back to what the first hook was. So keeping a count helps you stay on beat and remember the structure of your song.
Well, thank you so much, Etano, for your help with Math Corners.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
And now it's time for the Heart of the Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the Heart of the Lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about nobility. For me, I think nobility is remembering that we are God's special possessions and acting in a noble way, showing courage and honor. The qualities of nobility are goodness, virtue, honor, generosity, and selflessness. So, this weekend, me and my dad were at a board game party, and there was a really cool board game, but it took forever to learn. The owner who purchased it already knew the rules, but decided to teach it to us. Now, at the end of it, because it was a 4-player game, and he was teaching 4 new players, he decided not to play, but to watch over the game to correct people if they don't understand a rule or something. This was really selfless by showing that he was willing to teach and not even play afterwards so that someone else could. Well, Etano, do you have an example of nobility that you saw this week?
You know what? Seeing my little brother buy gifts for our nieces and nephews, and he didn't actually have the money. He didn't buy himself anything, and all the things that he received were really for him to go get his own gifts. And he spent money for the kids so that they could have a just good holiday season overall. So I have to commend my little brother on that. And he's significantly younger than me. So
Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
absolutely, I definitely agree.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Etano for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about your musical career and how you introduced God into it.
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Do you mind giving your social media website again?
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at BrassOT9. Brass is my old rap name. It's BrassOT and the number 9. You can also follow my business, Burst Juicing, just Burst Juicing. And you can find me on Facebook at Nick Jeffers. Not Jefferson, Jeffers.
All right. And also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 490 AM, Kansas 98, Soul Radio 24/7, Easy Way TV, and all the other stations that air on my show. And please visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And Etano, are you subscribed yet?
I will be after the show.
Okay. Well, this week, Third Side Convo says that we need to get Haley on our show. Well, thanks, Third Side, for so much for watching. And I see that she's already been on 2 of your episodes. And be sure to leave a comment at the end of my show. And also, be sure to listen to us next one on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.